So this is kind of an introductory video that I've actually recorded several of over the last few months, but I think that this is the first time that this is actually going to get posted, so this is cool. It's November 14th at like 1 in the morning, and this is an introductory video for my transition process. I am a female to male, trans man, transgender identifying person, what have you. One of those things all works. My name is Alec, A-L-E-K, and so anyway, I've been trying to post videos for a while, but the problem was that on my old laptop, the jack for the internet cable was broken, and so I couldn't actually upload videos, because even though I had Wi-Fi, it literally it took forever. So I didn't deal with it, which was stupid, but whatever. But this laptop, it's new, so it works. So I'm hoping that actually uploading the video directly, recording it on YouTube, will make it easier, because I'm assuming the file size is going to be a lot better. Anyway, so now that you've had that unnecessary explanation, I actually started transitioning in, like, the end of May. It was pretty much all of May, like, after I got out of finals, which was, like, the first week. I don't want to say being transgender was something I started to consider, but I think it was more of a, like, I wanted to identify as male, and I was kind of finally realizing that that's what I was trying to do a lot of the time. I went from identifying as bisexual to identifying as a lesbian, and the weird thing was that I didn't actually like saying that I was a lesbian because it felt wrong. Like, it felt so weird. It would be like a hetero guy trying to say, oh, I'm a lesbian, and I mean, no, this doesn't work. So, I don't really even know, like, how exactly I discovered, like, transgenderism. I had met a trans man previously, and actually, it was kind of with him that I started seriously considering, although not all the time, and it was something that I kind of ignored, because when I was doing this, I realized that if I was going to start identifying as transgender and male and all of these things, that I was going to have to acknowledge something that I didn't want to. And actually, the funny thing is that realizing that the main reason I didn't want to do it was because I would have to acknowledge that I had a female body actually led me more to the conclusion that I was transgender. Because of the fact that I realized how much I was ignoring the fact that I had a female body. I always wore sports bras, and I mean, I know that there's women that wear sports bras and all that stuff, and I mean, like, it's comfortable, you know, all those things, but I mean, like, I wore sports bras to get rid of my boobs. When it came time for that monthly cycle, it was, alright, where's the tampons? Are we solid? We're solid. And honestly, I forgot about it so much, it sucked. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't really care. I didn't want one. You know, it wasn't something that I particularly cared for. Not that women typically do, but so I remember I kind of got to a point where I realized that I needed to talk to one of my friends, and so I did. And literally this entire process, but like from starting to realize that I was identifying as transgender to actually starting to come out to people, to actually start having a new name and male pronouns, was probably a period about 1.5 to 2 months. So I would say that my transition was definitely a little bit different as far as realizing that I was transgender. A lot of people have different scenarios, but I know that I didn't like being female. I actually cringed when I heard she. If I heard somebody reference me, like in my apartment, I could hear people in the living room, so people were like, oh, you could go ask her. I didn't like that, and I kind of ignored it. But anyway, so all these things kind of compounded, and I realized that I needed to do something about this. And so I started coming out to people. This is all like over the summer and all these things. And I mean, really, it didn't become a lot of my reality until I actually came back to school, because I work at a dining center on campus. And that was where my first name was used a lot. I typically called my last name by my friends, and so even though they might have been using masculine pronouns, it's not something you necessarily hear all the time. Excuse me. And since they call me by my last name, honestly, that didn't really make much of a change. So, going to work where my first name was what I was called by, and having that change, you know. And I walked into work the first day, directly to my manager's office, walked in and said, I'm about to make your morning a little more interesting. And was like, I want to have a different name on my name tag. I want to have masculine pronouns. You know, is this okay? And she's like, I don't see a problem. Yeah, why not? So I had Alec on my name tag, and it was an interesting, like, first 3 weeks, because, you know, there are people that were returning and all those things, and so that was interesting, but having to the funny thing is that, like, the chefs that I work with, there's, like, 4 or 5, I can't really think of it right now, and they were all actually really cool. They were like, oh, alright, that's awesome, and oh god, it was fantastic. I mean, my experience has been extremely positive, and I'm really thankful for that, and I really wish that anybody that would have to come out and transition, or, you know, whatever it is outside of the gender norm, could have such a positive experience as I did. I remember part of the reason that I actually got really used to my new name was I had a few friends that I worked with. They would call out Alec until I would respond, and then they would give me crap for not responding, but not in, like, a really, like, mean way at all, no. Like, it was funny. They were just like, oh, come on, you gotta respond to your new name. I'd be like, I'm trying, I did, or, you know, all these things, and it was fun, and it got me really used to my new name, and so that was cool. Anyway, so, let's see if it was, June, July, August, September, October, November, wow, wow, I think I've hit 6 months. That's incredible. I just realized that. So, woo, 6 months transition anniversary video, I guess you could call this, / introductory video. Sorry that it's really long, but I have a lot that I want to say, but I'll try to keep it to about 10 minutes to hold your attention for that long. I really want to follow my transition via YouTube. I currently have a blog because that was really all that I could do at that point in time. But I really want to provide as much information as possible to people that I don't want to say would follow in my footsteps at all, but more like would have to transition or feel that they need to or they want to or whatever their decision is. To provide support. To put my personal experiences out there, because every transgender person's experience is a little bit different depending on how they identify and how they feel and what they decide to do and what they decide to don't do and all of these things. And I really want to put it out there that even though a lot of trans people have really similar things, there's a lot of different things. For example, even though I was uncomfortable a lot of the time walking around in a female body, I ignored it a lot, and it really wasn't until I was starting to, like, realize I wanted to identify as male that I realized how much I was ignoring it. So that sucked, you know, but there's not really much that you can do about that. Anyway, but I don't really know much else to say. I will say that I'm hopefully going to be starting hormones pretty soon, but I'll leave that for another video as far as that and surgeries and all that stuff. But I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and put myself out there and hope that people will, you know, be able to identify or understand or, you know, anything like that. If anybody ever has any questions, I don't even know who the fuck's gonna, ooh, excuse me, whoever's gonna watch these videos at first, but I mean, if anybody ever has any questions, or if you know, are struggling and you want to see if somebody else can relate, I'm sure that I can. I'm sure that there's multiple people that can. Knowing that you're not the only person that has has felt things, or thought things, or struggled with certain things, or wondered, or, you know, whatever. I guarantee you, you're not alone. And I think that that's what really matters. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I kind of really need to do homework. Ignoring the fact that it's 1 in the morning. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you guys keep following, really. And I hope you have a good night, day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever the fuck you watch it. Ooh, I don't know if I can say those things on YouTube, but I'm hoping that it's okay. I think I've seen people say it, so it should be okay. Anyway, good. I was gonna say good day and goodbye all at the same time, so good, whatever, goodbye, I guess. Talk to you soon.